It is Friday, March the 8th, and Friday's here. Weekend is upon us.
Saturday is there. Don't forget,
Before you go to bed, spring forward.
move your clock forward. So you
Don't have to go to bed at 5:45 every night now.
yesterday or last evening, for those that watched or didn't watch, they had the president, State of the Union. You can't go a day or an hour and not have something over the news that's political, that's affecting you. You wonder, is it affecting money? And we're even being asked this question. The outcome of the president's election, whether it's Mr. Biden, President Biden, or whether it's former President Trump, depending on who it is, does that have a direct effect on my portfolio today on who it is? And should I be doing something today in preparation for who that might be?
Preparation today, I would say no. I would say that the sector choices probably would change as we get closer to November or even after the election occurs. We wouldn't be looking at buying green energy, for instance, if Trump were to win. We would be looking at more traditional forms of energy, just as an example. But I think the big what will control markets more than anything is what the Fed decides to do and when they decide to do it when it comes to lowering rates.
The Federal Reserve and Chairman Powell at this point in time having to do with your portfolio is really one of the major controlling factors. This week was the run-up for the State of the Union, but it also was meetings with the Federal Reserve, and there was really more attention from a market's perspective of what the chairman is saying than what the president said last night.
Yes.
Now, we would tell you this because we recognize the concern and the noise and the angst and all the worry the political market is creating, and whether you would want Biden as president or Trump as president. We know that makes you wonder, oh, my portfolio is going to go down, or I'm going to lose money, or I need to be out of the market. Our answer to you is not to be out of the market.
No, because again, if you look at, let's just use IT as an example. We had some great years in IT during the Trump administration, and we just came out of a great year for IT, especially 7 particular stocks during the Biden administration. So there are certain sectors that are going to do great regardless, and there are others that you might want to be heavier in just based on who does get elected.
So we're going to guide the ship based on the election results into the sectors that best suit the winner of the race and what that party will try to promote. But it doesn't mean you should be out of the market because your candidate didn't win. Chairman Powell this week, again, has the great data collection that we illustrated this morning. They gave 2 pieces of information. It gave a good piece of information that more people are at a higher unemployment rate.
Which is somewhat perverse because, right, it's like the Fed's rooting for unemployment, but let's face it, they really are looking for higher than inflation's been. So it came in at 3.9% versus, I think, 3.7% last week. But then again, you had a lot more jobs created, 275,000 versus 198,000 anticipated. So you've got a piece of good news as far as the Fed in its data search, and then you've got some bad news as far as the Fed and its data search.
And that dichotomy, that difference gives the Federal Reserve Chairman ability to continue not to do anything,
which is perfect.
Which is perfect. So it's working its way through the system. But he did say this week that interest rates cuts are coming. Many speculate that it will be this summer or certainly by September, because you pointed out that's the last meeting before election, and they don't want to be perceived as a political pawn by a party. So that tells us what we're doing is continuing to slowly get your portfolio back into the stock market, into sectors that are broadening out in our opportunities, and we are continuing to move the duration line out in your bonds. So that's what we're doing, but that's all the noise that's occurring because of politics. I'd say don't worry about it when it comes to your money. Let us guide it as
It's going to be an ugly political year.
It really is.
It's just going to be ugly.
All right. If you have any questions, you have any concerns, you'd like to talk about it, give us a phone call. We'd be glad to sit down and talk with you, Zoom with you, meet with you, do whatever you want. We do it each and every week because we know it is your money.
And your money matters. Be safe this weekend and stay dry.
Move that clock forward.
Move the clock forward.
See you next week.